Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here at the cross right here. This is where I did the final scene for the movie that I have been for a very long time trying to put together. Therapy with my family. When I started all the videos over the years, I was not ever even a thought or a creative idea that God would be using and putting all of this together. And when I started January 14th this year, actually, when I posted that Therapy with My Family introduction, because I'm still in my recovery process with the 12 steps. We're going to be starting, step 6 soon in the next few weeks. But this movie is kind of going to be used for my own recovery process, personally. It's just I want to finish the project, because once this is done, I am closing this chapter and I'm moving on. But anyway, so this is where I filmed the final scene, and this was on my father's birthday on March 11th, this past March. I did not know what was about to transpire. This is my dad in his red Santa Claus sack. This is his ashes in here. But I posted a video on my YouTube channel of me praying over him a few weeks before he passed. Now it's getting close to 4,000 views, and I've had a lot of people say that they very strong negative opinions about me posting that. This should have been more private. But anyways, they have a right to their opinion, but God is awesome, and this is my story. This is my father and son story, and so if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But anyways, my dad died this past June on the 21st, Wednesday night at 7:02 p.m. I was at church in the middle of the Bible study when I got the call from the hospital. And yesterday, July 15th, Saturday, we had his celebration of life ceremony. And today is Sunday, July 16th. Next Monday, I will be taking my father's ashes and burying him at his final resting place in 7 to 8 days from now of this recording, at the Edwards barn, where me and him filmed that Therapy with My Father video. That's where we filmed that, in that barn, before it collapsed. But so I figured it was poetic. And July 24th in 2010, 13 years ago, next Monday, that is the day I moved to North Carolina and was uprooted from my hometown, Roanoke, Virginia. I was supposed to stay with my dad, but the money he had saved, he spent it all on drugs and disappeared during the time that he disappeared. The house was sold, and it was clear that God's will for me was to move with my grandparents. But anyways, long story short, 13 years later, my father his ashes will be buried in front of the barn that has been in our family's history for a very long time, where my great-great-grandfather is buried, the first Josiah Edwards. That's where our family starts, in Pine Level, North Carolina, Johnson County. And on the 13th anniversary since I've lived here and where my family was from, there's a whole lot more I can share, but all of that is going to be all of the details and all of you guys' questions, and you don't really quite understand why I'm doing all this and in the manner that I'm doing it. I know it's questionable. I know you don't get it. Believe me, I never knew I was going to be doing any of this. But this is how God is doing it. This is how I feel. And I don't have to do any of this work. I should only be focused on my own personal recovery and healing, and that's it. But you know what? I'm not just going to break the generational curse that I have passed down. But I'm going to ask God to forgive those who came before me. Their own, mistakes and sins that have been passed down to us, that we are now facing the consequences of this demonic cycle over and over and over. It's a curse that I have taken upon myself in my free will. I have chosen to put in the work. And even if I never live to see it, and even if God never really does anything, I don't care. I'm choosing to do it because I want to show my kids the example on how to do it. And even if they don't want to do it in the future, that's fine. I don't care. This is for God anyway. I just want people to see Jesus. But today I'm giving my father a Billy Graham funeral style. You know, Billy Graham, he was honored in the rotunda of the Capitol. You know, he was the greatest evangelist, reaching more people than Paul himself, who wrote half of the New Testament. But my father was really no one. But he was my father. The Bible says to honor your father and your mother. And God has restored my heart to my father. And I'm sharing this. I'm open with, and I'm very transparent with my story. I don't care what people's opinions are. This ain't your story. This ain't your recovery process. So go through your own recovery process and work out your own relationship with Jesus. And just because y'all are more private than I am, does not mean you got to put down what I feel led to do and what I'm trying to overcome. And this is how I'm choosing to do it. So be praying for me instead of being negative. But anyways, I'm not going to edit this video or whatever. I'm just sharing. But I know it's towards the end. Probably a lot of y'all won't even watch to this 7 minutes. But if you are still watching this video, my father had one lucid moment. It was June 9th. It was a Friday morning. And he had been unresponsive since Saturday, June 3rd. But he started moaning and grunting as if he was in pain. But he, looking back, he wasn't in pain because of all the morphine and stuff. He wasn't in pain. I believe he was just getting that energy to say what he really wanted to say before he went unresponsive. He wanted to tell me that he loved me one more time before he died. And so he had worked up enough motivation, and he told the nurses, raise me up. And so when they stepped out to get a new syringe from my dad because his thing had ran out, I said, Dad, I love you. He said, I love you too, son. And in that moment, he went unresponsive again, and till he died. But God has restored my heart. I spent 8 days in the hospital with him. And then I had to, come back to North Carolina to get back to work. But eight more days. And thank you for watching. But there's so much more I can share. But that's why I'm making the Therapy with My Family movie. Because it's going to be over an hour. Maybe 2, maybe 3 hour tops. And I'm still going to be doing it. I'm still going to be completing that movie, that project. I just never expected that halfway through this year would be the death of my father, who started where my abandonment issue started. And I surrendered this struggle on the 1st of this year. And now look at what God has done this far. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry for the long video, and thank you for watching this long. That shows how much you guys really care. And this is for my kids one day to look back and see. And please be praying for me. I'm trying to do things not just the right way, but in a way that honors God, that points people to Jesus, and to lead by example for my kids and for my grandkids and for my great-grandkids, to break generational curses and to piss off the devil and to let the devil know he won't have the last laugh in my family. This is the Edwards Restoration comeback. This is our comeback story. And I don't care what you say. I don't care what your opinion is. I really don't. I respect, and I will not, and I am sympathetic to people's opinions, and you are entitled to it, but you will not dictate, and nor will the devil use anyone or himself or me to stop what God has ordained. The devil cannot stop what God has ordained. Thank you for watching, and I will keep you guys updated. in the days to come.